The government needs to stand trial for treason for what they have done to this country. And there is no end in sight. It will only get worse for the next government. Yesterday, we went for an evening stroll in the countryside near my house, followed by a drink in the local country pub. We only got to the end of the street and there was around 10 or 12 people, what looked like they were moving in. All in traditional Islamic dress and speaking Arabic, I think. It feels like that's about the fifth immigrant family in as many weeks that has moved into my street alone. It's becoming utterly ridiculous, and clearly mass immigration is completely out of control. The locals are fast becoming a minority here. I was also in the local shop and not a word of English was being spoken. And this is a village out of the way where 10 years ago everybody knew everyone else. It seems like we aren't a country anymore, just a borderless piece of global real estate where anyone in the world can come and claim it as their own. Now, I have no problem with people moving here. There is an Hong Kong couple about 5 houses down, as well as a Ukrainian family up the street. All seem decent, law-abiding people that absolutely do integrate. I'm fine with anyone moving here as long as it's sensible numbers and people who integrate, which, as I've said, clearly some groups do. But the sheer scale is getting ridiculously out of control now. It's really noticeable. And look, all the antisocial behaviour that occurs nearby is local white English chavs in tracksuits who are not happy unless they are hanging around on the streets, smashing bus stops and everything else up. The council builds anything new, they just smash it up. Total lowlifes. So I'd be happy to have some of those replaced with certain nice, decent immigrant families. But of course, no groups of asylum seeker men. Muslim families are absolutely fine, as should any other family be. And of course they should be made welcome. Goes without saying. But what if more and more keep moving into the area and not integrating? Firstly, when loads of people with strong beliefs and sense of identity rooted in another place move into an area, it is only natural they start taking over the place and turning it into a foreign colony. Just look what happens when Brits go to Spain. We just set up British colonies overseas. Now, if more and more Islamic families start moving in, the same will happen in my area. Then, how long before there is Palestine flags everywhere? And shops popping up. Already, a Turkish barber has miraculously appeared. Maybe they'll want to build a mosque that dominates the skyline, like in my ex-girlfriend's area. Then they start dictating what can and can't be taught in local schools. And I'll be honest, I don't want my area completely transformed into a colony that more resembles a foreign country than it does England. Secondly, it is not our responsibility to radically change our landscape to house the world, especially when the people already here have not consented to it. I have lovely views from my house, surrounded by some lovely countryside, brilliant for walks and a haven for wildlife. It's quiet apart from birdsong. The air is fresh. How long before all that is paved over because we as a country have insanely decided to import the world? Importing loads of people lessens the quality of life for those already here. And let's be clear, it puts massive pressure on infrastructure and is bad for the environment. I'm not saying no houses should be built, but any discussion of house building without mentioning mass immigration is just disingenuous. Unfortunately, soon my area will no doubt be lost, all the beautiful countryside will soon be gone, and so will the birdsong, and it'll be like some overcrowded foreign place that doesn't feel like home. I can see it happening already before my very eyes as we speak.